Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank Diane for giving me this opportunity to share with you what is on my heart and mind. I also would like to thank James for providing this platform for us to share. And for Maxine, that was beautiful. I don't know how you come up with this symphony of words. And now I like to share my screen, and let me go here. Okay. So, okay. You see my screen? Right? Diane, you see my screen, right?
All
Can you
good.
hear me?
All good.
Yeah. Okay. The title of this topic is how to build resilience against stress, anxiety, and depression through total transformation. Indeed, it's my pleasure to be here and share with you things that appear to be difficult, but in reality, very simple. My presentation today is indeed simple to understand, but afraid not so easy to do and implement. It is simply a reminder what most of us seem to either forget or don't think about, namely that we have everything you need. It is all within you. All you need is to learn how to use the powers that the Creator has bestowed upon you. Today's presentation is simply, again, a reminder and an example that the solutions to such debilitating conditions, such as stress, anxiety, and depression, is simply building mental resilience and social resilience, both of which are within you. And if you do that, you will be unstoppable. Then you can build resilience against any external challenge. Stress, anxiety, and depression is just simply an example. Before I start, Diane is giving me only 30 minutes, so I would like to warn you. I'm going to be talking a little bit faster than usual, and throwing at you a lot of information, and I'm aware of that. I'm going to be giving you an overview of what I have, so my intention is not for all of you to recall all the details, but rather for all of you to become aware of the information that is available, so that those that are interested in this topic can email me and get more information. We all know that stress is a widespread issue in America. 35%, that is 123 million men, and 37%, 130 million women, report experiencing significant stress. Anxiety disorders affect nearly 1 in 5, i.e., 20%, or 70 million adults annually. Depression impacts 1 in 12, or 42 million people. These numbers emphasize why addressing stress, anxiety, and depression is critical for our collective well-being. And I do have a burning desire to help these people. So now you're going to say, well, Paul, how are you going to help them? I'd like to help them by teaching them the Total Transformation program that I have. It consists of 5 pillars. Pillar 1, you need to have the right mindset. Pillar 2, you need to know how to communicate with your conscious mind, the thinking mind. Pillar 3, you need to understand the subconscious mind. Pillar 4, you need to have the right personal attributes. And once you master all 4 pillars, then you'll be able to build resilience against stress, anxiety, and depression. For the sake of this talk today, I would like to rearrange the 4 pillars in this way. Pillar 1, again, having the right mindset, having a can-do attitude. Pillar 2, knowing how to communicate with your conscious mind, then you can achieve whatever you want. Pillar 3, understanding the subconscious mind so that you can replace old habit and limiting beliefs what you want now. If you will notice that pillar 1, 2, and 3 deal with the mind, with the mental power. So if you master these 3 pillars, then you'll be able to build mental resilience and you can do anything. Now, if you master pillar 4, mastering the right personal attribute, i.e., knowing how to deal with people and the environment, then you will master social resilience. You can deal with anything. And now you will have mental resilience plus social resilience. And ladies and gentlemen, you will be unstoppable. Then you can build resilience against any external challenge. Stress, anxiety, and depression is just simply an example. All of us want to get more pleasure and be happy. But if you have pain, such as stress, getting rid of the pain is more important than getting pleasure. Once you get rid of the pain, then you're free to pursue pleasure. So how would you get rid of the pain and then acquire more pleasure? One solution is the Total Transformation Program. So what is the Total Transformation Program? The Total Transformation Program consists of 2 tools, as we described before, having mental resilience and social resilience. Now, you will be empowered to get rid of the pain, stress, anxiety, and depression, and acquire whatever you want and be happy. Why? Because you have mental resilience. You are an unconscious competent. You are an autopilot. You can do anything you want. And you have social resilience. You're able to deal with any challenge, people, or circumstances. You will be unstoppable. More importantly, since you got rid of the pain by mastering mental and social resilience, then once you get rid of the pain, you will still end up with the mental and social resilience that help you get rid of the pain. This is how I always say I am content, satisfied, and happy. Why? Because I'm always struggling and trying to master mental and social resilience. And therefore, whatever pain, I get the same pain and stressors that all of you get, but they are negligible compared to what I can do. And therefore, I can get rid of the pain and still maintain the mental and social resilience. And you can do as well. So how does the Total Transformation Program work? And how would it empower you and enable you to deal with and get rid of stress, anxiety, and depression? What does Total Transformation represent? What should you envision? What I would like you to envision is an all-around Olympic athlete. Imagine a young man going daily to the gym, lifting weights, and having the physique of a bodybuilder. He then does the cardio, runs with the treadmill, the stepper, the elliptical, all of these tools. And then he practices martial arts. When he's done, he goes home. On the way home, 4 losers want to rob him. He stands, he smiles, and he uses few martial arts moves, and he destroys them. Like this, there is nothing he can destroy, any challenge that faces him, because he is unstoppable. Similarly, you will be unstoppable because you have mental resilience. You are an unconscious competent. You are on autopilot. And if you have social resilience as well, you'll be able to deal with any challenge, people, or circumstances. You will be unstoppable. So the Total Transformational Program will empower you and enable you to deal with and get rid of stress, anxiety, and depression. How would you develop mental resilience and social resilience? To develop mental resilience, we go back to pillar 1, 2, and 3. Having the right mindset, to have the can-do attitude, to believe that you can achieve anything you want, anything you put your mind to. Pillar 2, knowing how to communicate with a conscious mind to achieve whatever you want. And this is when you use the mental success formula so that you can achieve whatever you want. Pillar 3, understanding the subconscious mind so that you can replace old habits and limiting beliefs with what you want now. How to build social resilience? You need to master pillar 4, the right personal attribute. You know, you do not live alone. You do not live on an island. We must interact with people all the time. Therefore, we must learn to have a good attitude, good interpersonal skills, to be emotionally stable, good communication skills, good negotiation skills, to be persistent and consistent, to know how to succeed, good marketing skills, good selling skill, and to be great. And ladies and gentlemen, so far, I did not mention anything new. All what I mentioned is teachable, learnable. All what is needed is, do you want to do it? Do you want to learn it? As Les Brown says, if you want it, you have to be hungry, and then you'll overcome all the obstacles. Now you will have mental resilience and social resilience. You will be unstoppable. So now we're dealing with stress. So what the heck is stress? It's been said that stress is the silent killer. Is it? And under what conditions? Let me describe to you what is acute and chronic stress. Acute stress, one way to describe acute stress is by describing what happens physiologically inside you during a stressful incident. Please just listen to the story, noticing how many things happen one after the other. Do not get bogged down with the names I mentioned. Just follow the story. Let's say you and your significant other are taking a stroll down the street. All of a sudden, there is an 18-wheeler coming at you at the street. Your sympathetic nervous system is going to immediately detect it. It will yell, danger, danger. The amygdala in the brain, the center for fear and emotion, sitting on top of the brainstem, hears that and starts screaming, danger, danger. The hypothalamus nearby, which is the master gland that coordinates most organs, hears that and says, well, we need to prepare the body for action. It sends a message, a hormone called CRF, to the pituitary gland nearby, which is responsible for hormone regulation. The pituitary gland immediately sends a hormone called ACTH to the adrenal glands located above the kidney. ACTH activates the adrenal glands to secrete cortisol. You're all familiar with that, the stress hormone, and adrenaline, epinephrine. Cortisol goes to the liver and breaks down glycogen to glucose or sugar. And now we have sugar in the blood for energy. Adrenaline goes to the lung and tells it, hey, we need more oxygen. Start breathing faster. It goes to the heart, tells it, start pumping faster. We have sugar and oxygen. We want to get the muscle. And then it goes to the arteries. It's a squeeze, vasoconstrict, increasing the blood pressure to get sugar and oxygen faster to the muscle. And now the muscle having everything it needs. It says to the 300-pounder muscular husband, what do you want to do now? You want to fight or flight? So the muscular husband looks at the wife and says, okay, babes, let's fight this thing. And the relative little wife gives the husband the look, you know the look, and says, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy? How are you going to fight an 18-wheeler? And she gets an adrenaline rush. She looks and she sees the 18-wheeler is about to hit them. She gets an adrenaline rush, lifts up her 300-pound husband and throws him to the side of the road and saves the day. First, note how all of these happens one after the other within seconds. It's totally amazing. Second, is this a silent killer? No. In this case, stress saved the day. So acute stress is when stress is removed. Here, the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming nervous system, gets activated and calms everything back to normal. And let's compare this with chronic stress, where the stressor is not removed. Hence, it becomes chronic. Let's say this lady sends her little boy to school. The boy spends the day in school and he is running home. 4 losers stop him, bullies him, and beats him up. The boy is going to be stressed. And everything that we just discussed is going to happen to him. And it will continue to happen until they stop beating him up. The next day, the same thing happens. And he gets stressed again. And this continues day after day. What is going to happen to him when his cortisol and adrenaline continue day after day with increasing intensity? Unless the mother figures it out and stops it, that is going to continue. That is chronic stress. So after a while, even in the absence of the stressor, the boy is going to be stressed and agitated. And this will be the beginning of acute anxiety, then chronic anxiety. Now, let me summarize everything I said. Acute stress, short-term response to an immediate threat or challenge. Examples: a deadline, a traffic jam, narrowly avoiding a car accident, or preparing for a presentation. The stress could be external, for example, work demands, financial challenges, health concerns, relationships. It could be internal stressors. It could be negative self-talk, unrealistic expectations, perfectionism. These trigger the sympathetic nervous system and the fight or flight response. What happens when you have chronic stressors? You have prolonged exposure to stressors, such as caregiving for a loved one, enduring long-term financial struggles, chronic illness. These lead to sustained cortisol and adrenaline release, impairing the body's ability to return to homeostasis. What about the onset and progression? With acute stress, immediate activation of the sympathetic nervous system will lead to increased glucose release, increased breathing, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, putting the body for action, fight or flight. Now, if you have prolonged exposure, prolonged cortisol and adrenaline release, you have dysregulation of the organs and the hormones, you have systemic inflammation because cortisol will suppress the immune system during stress, insulin resistance because you have elevated glucose level, cardiovascular disease because you have increased heart rate and increased blood pressure, neurodegeneration, the hippocampus will start shrinking. This is the center for memory and learning. The prefrontal cortex will start atrophying because this is where critical thinking, decision making, imagination, innovation, and creativity. Now, if you don't remember anything I said, that is what I want you to remember. I understand I'm speaking fast. I'm trying to finish within 30 minutes. What I want you to remember is this. You start with acute stress. It happens all the time. You need to do what you need to do. If you get rid of the acute stress, if you know how to deal with it, then it stops right there. But if you don't, the stressor is going to continue. You're going to end up with chronic stress. And if you continue, you'll end up with acute stress, even in the absence of the stressor. You'll go to acute anxiety, chronic anxiety. And after chronic anxiety, if it continues, you'll end up with acute depression and chronic depression. So the picture I'm trying to tell you, stop stress right at the beginning. before everything goes to happen. And even if it goes, we have ways to bring it back. But the easiest is stop. Now, how to build resilience against stress? By you becoming unstoppable. You become unstoppable by mastering your mental resilience to be an unconscious competent, to build social resilience, to be able to deal with people and with whatever life throws at you. And for that, you need to master the total transformation, and you need to master the three parts. As we mentioned before, you need to master the mental resilience and the three pillars under it. You need to master social resilience, and like this, if you master both, you'll be able to master resilience against stress. So now let's talk about how to build mental resilience. Again, we have pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, the mindset to communicate with the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So let's talk about each of them very briefly. Pillar 1, you need to have the right mindset. You all know that success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. It is what you think and not what you do. If you think you can, then you can. If you think you cannot, then you can't. It is having the can-do attitude. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. You all know that. Believing in the fact that you can do it. And remember, belief is a thought with confidence. If you believe that you can achieve something, then you will start. You will be persistent and consistent until you achieve what you want. And then you will get what you want. So having the right mindset is the first pillar in the total transformation program. And it is the most important. Because without having the right mindset, nothing else will happen. If you think you can, then you will start and achieve what you want. But if you think you can't, you will never start and achieve nothing. The Chinese proverb says, the beginning of a long journey is the first step. If you do not take the first step, you're not going to start your journey and you will not reach your destination. Let's go to pillar number 2. Communicating with your conscious mind in order to achieve what you want. And this is where we use the mental success formula. So what the heck is the mental success formula? The mental success formula is simply a model, something to follow. Well, it describes the mental processes that constitute the thinking process. What are these mental processes? We all are familiar with them. This is what you need to do when you're thinking about something, when you're using your conscious mind. We all know how to think, focus, imagine, fall in love. We all have faith and believe in getting what we want. We all have emotional involvement. You all know that. I talked about that many times before. But the first step in the mental success formula is what? Know what you want. What is your highest value? What is your purpose in life? What do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? As James was talking about today, what is your future self? Envision your future self. And then if you are thinking about that, then think about it, focus on it, imagine it. Have faith, believe that you're going to get it, fall in love with it, get emotionally involved with it. You know how powerful is that? And the moment you get emotionally involved with it and you have a burning desire, that thought will enter the conscious, the mind, and then the mind will inspire you to get knowledge. You learn that knowledge, you organize that knowledge, and if what you want exists, you'll be able to get it, and you will get it. And if what you want got done, and everything exists and everything is done, it's all there. You will learn the method, you'll get the tools and surprise, and you will do it. Now, all is good. So now let's see how the total transformation help us with solving the problem with stress. People with stress and anxiety feel unsafe. Their mind is racing. They're agitated. They're overwhelmed. They're confused, not knowing what is going on. Mental health professionals have many tools, and they are very successful in dealing with these people. And one of the tools is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. In CBT, there are several practices and you're probably all familiar with. You have breath work, mindfulness, meditation, yoga. You have cognitive methods like reframing, reappraising, restructuring, visualization, and we talk about this in the 7 o'clock meeting. So, breath work, mindfulness, and meditation. These are the main objective of these is to reset and calm your mind. These practices help shift the mind away from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, bringing awareness to the present. Bringing awareness to the present. These breathwork, mindfulness, meditation, and yoga are universal. You can practice them if you are in CBT or if you're following the TTP, the Total Transformation Program. But you see, in the Total Transformation Program, the first step is knowing what you want. Knowing what you want. Knowing what you want. What is your highest value, as I said before? What is your purpose in life? What you want to become? What you are in love with? These are exciting, empowering, and goal-setting. Compared to just focusing on the present, essentially nothing. And that is the purpose of mindfulness and support. Practice on the present, essentially nothing to calm your mind. Okay, it is resetting. When you know what you want, that is goal setting. While breathwork, mindfulness, meditation, and yoga reset to the present, knowing what you want, reset to the present and future. Goal setting calms the mind. This is much more powerful than just resetting. How about reframing, reappraisal, and restructuring? These are key cognitive techniques used in CBT to help individuals shift their thinking patterns and develop healthier responses to challenges, taking something that is negative and now putting it in positive. In CBT, you are reframing, reappraising, restructuring something that happens in the past, something that caused you pain. It might even be painful to revisit the event. I have no real emotional involvement with it. But in the TTP, in the Total Transformation Program, knowing what you want, think about what you want, focus on it, imagine it, what you want to become, what you are in love with. Here, there is excitement versus attempting to refrain to something cause you stress. There is a difference. Now, what about visualization? There is a lot of work that has been done which shows visualization really calms the mind. But you are here in CBT, you're visualizing something that does not mean too much to you. But in the mental success formula, again, you start by knowing what you want, what is your future self. You're thinking, focusing, and imagining. These are visualization when you think, focus, and imagine. So there is visualization here too. Emotional involvement. Emotion is energy in motion. Very powerful. You cannot do anything without emotion. In CBT, there is no emotion. You are thinking about something that happened in the past, something that is causing you pain and want to get away from. But in TTP, you're falling in love and getting emotionally involved with what you want is fundamental. Emotional involvement is fundamental. It's in the equation and a very important component in the mental success formula. Achieving what you want and love will provide emotional stability and it will calm. Okay, emotional involvement is part of the mental success formula. Now let's go to pillar 3. Well, subconscious mind. I am late. Subconscious mind. Let me just go here. If you follow the mental success formula, it goes to your conscious mind. Whatever in your conscious mind, if you apply emotion to it, it will go to subconscious mind, and this is how you can replace old paradigm to the new paradigm, and you end up with the new habit and you end up with being unconscious competent. I see I am behind in time. If you replace your limiting belief and your old habits, then you can develop new habits, such as you can develop gratitude habit, mindfulness habit, deep breathing habits, and I do all of these, and that will be very, very useful. Now, the part two is to develop social resilience. You need to have the right mindset. And again, I'm not going to go. There is no time to go through it. You need to develop all of that. All of these are learnable. Everybody can learn these, and you will build mental ability. So now you can build resilience against stress by simply learning the three parts here. I'm sorry, I have to go fast now. You can, part one is you develop mental resilience by having the right mindset, by knowing how to communicate with your conscious mind, and by knowing how to replace your old habits and old limiting beliefs in the subconscious mind, and by building social resilience. And then if you have mental resilience and social resilience, you will be unstoppable, and then you can take care of any external pressure. Stress, anxiety, and depression is only one of them. And if you don't do that, as I said before, if you don't take care of stress, you'll end up with chronic stress, to acute and chronic anxiety, acute and chronic depression. And when you're in the depression, is the body gets tired of all the activation. Cortisol is very good when it's very low, but when it gets higher, it affects the amygdala, it affects the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, and you will have no feeling anymore. You will be numb, you will express hopelessness, helplessness, no pleasure, sadness, and it's a sad case, but you can take care of it if you take care of the stress. So I will leave to you my email, hissinp@yahoo.com. And if anybody is interested, you can send me an email. I can send you the book. The book is in Amazon, Mental Success Formula. If you send me your email, I can update you. I'm making 3 courses right now. I'll be very soon making coaching, group coaching, and one-to-one coaching. You can call me. I'll give you a free consultation. It's no problem. And everything I said so far is very simple to do. All you need is just to acquire the knowledge. My email is hissinp@yahoo.com. Anybody is welcome to email me. And thank you, and God bless. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Paul. I know we're running behind time here. But so if you could stop sharing for a second, great, fantastic. Wasn't that great information? And all I can know, we all know that stress is the silent killer. And the next piece, what resonated with me most was this amazing body that we've been blessed with, and all of the things that had to have to happen in a split second. So we serve a mighty God, and I'm using God. That's who I resonate with. That's who I go to. But I know you have whoever is your higher power. So, Paul, if there's any quick questions, I just want to go right on into the next speaker, because we have our keynote celebrity speaker, Dr. Forbes Riley, coming on soon. So, are there any quick questions for Paul? And we're gonna be sending out Paul's information in the replay, and we also have a YouTube channel. Everything will be there. So let's make it real quick, and we have Kathleen Kennedy and then Dr. Karen Lally.
Good morning, Paul. I'm just wondering if you can give us an example from your own life of how.
About what? My life is long. About what?
What's that?
My life is long. An example about specifically what?
Of how you've applied the mental success formula.
How I applied the mental success formula. I will tell you how I built this mental success formula. I was doing many things at the hospital, the medical school, the public health. I was in my properties. I was trading at the same time. And I started saying, how can I do all of that? So I came up with preparation. Preparation is 90% of what you do, and action is only 5%. And then I said, preparation, how do you prepare? So first, you should know what you want. You should think about it, focus on it, and then know. I tell you, I wasted so much time by going to the properties, not having the right tool, not having the right supply, and then I have to go back and forth, go to the store. So you need to know what you want, think about it, focus on it. If you want to do something, you need to know how to do it. You need to have the tool. You need to have the supply. You need to know how the tool. And if you have everything, action is only 5%. Action is very simple.